the time we were doing a research, you will be surprised to know that approximately 68 million tons of food is wasted every year in India. Areas like Jama Masjid, Nizamuddin, Sarai Kale Khan, one of the charity mission at Kashmiri Gate, I was shocked to see the small kids who are not having a food from 3-4 days.
People also have this habit to create a food surplus.
Less production is the issue. It's the major issue of our wastage which we are doing.
Around 40% of the food gets wasted because it never reaches on time. Arvind sir, thank you so much for giving your time. It's a real great pleasure to actually be with you, because I was actually reading about you but I couldn't find any media interaction. Then finally when I met you today, I really felt कि इनसे wealth of information तो मिलेगी, but surely this is going to be something that people are going to look forward to. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, bhai, for coming. Thank you to you.
Yeah. You know, sir, this was like very interesting for me to know that आपने अपना starting में hospitality से start किया था, and all the way when I see now कि आप क्या है, आप क्या क्या चीज़ें कर चुके हैं, how many things you are doing at a time, makes me wonder कि कैसे all the way it started from hospitality, but now when you see it's like so many things, it's RCL, it's Hunger Free India, and many other aspects with that. How do you see that?
But the thing is that I'm into this hospitality industry from 1996 after doing my HM from Delhi. And I joined Constitution Club of India, which is a club for the members of parliamentarian. So I'm heading this institution, and I found little bit interesting to gain a basically experience into the hospitality industry. So coming to the RCL is one of the thing which came to in my mind last 2-3 years back. So that was the starting of my prospect into the cricket and basically bringing all the platforms together for one noble cause, Hunger Free Bharat, on a single platform through a RCL. So RCL is a restaurant cricket league basically, and we are dedicating this RCL to Hunger Free Bharat.
तो फिर क्रिकेट में आपका इंटरेस्ट कैसे रहा?
कॉलेज लाइफ में खेलते थे, वॉलीबॉल खेलने का बहुत शौक था. कोविड के टाइम पे वी वर स्पेंडिंग अ टाइम विद माय टीममेट्स, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ फूड पैकेज टू द नीडी पीपल ड्यूरिंग दैट कोर्स ऑफ टाइम. दिन में जब टाइम मिलता था यहीं ग्राउंड में क्रिकेट खेल लेते थे. छोटा सा एक नेट प्रैक्टिस जगह भी है, खाली रोड होते थे तो यहीं क्रिकेट खेल लेते थे. और बेसिकली क्रिकेट इज़ अ थिंग विच इज़ liked by everyone across all the age groups, and that unites
especially
the people
in India.
Yes, mainly the cricket. If you go for another game, kho-kho, volleyball and other games, people are not too much interested of all the age groups. If you ask anyone across the country, small kid or a big one, he knows do and don'ts of the cricket basically. And that's the only game in India which is bringing together people of all the age groups. So that was the thing that I thought that this platform would be much easier to spread awareness on the cause I am looking for.
And when was your first direct encounter with like mainstream cricket? Like एक तो गया college में था ही obviously, but the mainstream cricket or meeting a cricketer themselves. How did
See,
it
many
start?
politicians are the cricketers. Like now also, Kirti Ajad ji, Harbhajan Singh, they are the cricketers also were represented India and now other members of parliament. But like Constitution Club is also having a restaurant, so I was having 2-3 small my personal ventures of restaurant. One day I was sitting with my staff in the late evening, so they come across, sir कुछ sports करा दो. तो मैंने कहा what you want to do? Sir cricket match कर लेंगे.
This was where?
I'm having at Pusa Road also, at Parliament Street also. I'm having a small ventures to keep myself busy and to carry on with my passion basically. So in the night we were sitting together with my staff. So I thought, ठीक है, let's play a cricket match, and I'll book a Talkatora open ground for you. In the course of a day or two, they discussed with their colleagues, and they said, sir, we have spoken to another brands also. They are also eager to play the match. So that was the time I click as a passion or as a मतलब no idea was I was having that this will grow in this level. I said ठीक है आप लोगों की ना क्रिकेट लीग करा देता हूँ. So in the night only I made a name Restaurant Cricket League, and that was the basically name I have given in the midnight while sitting with my staff in my restaurant. So that Restaurant Cricket League went normally for a period of 2 years in 2023 and 2024, which we played at Talkotora Cricket Ground. It was at a very small level. During one of the match, Abhishek, one of my friend, came to the ground and we were sitting across. So he said me कि अब आगे क्या प्लान है. मैंने कहा ठीक है सीजन 3 करेंगे. So during the course of discussion we thought that let we plan something and do it at a pan India level. We were in the discussion for a week, 10 days, and we thought that we should align something with a noble cause. And after that discussion we found out to do with the cause of basically hunger in India and the food wastage.
This was during which year?
2024.
2024.
Yes. So during that time we decided that we should go with some social cause, because cricket is the only sports which will help us to spread the awareness. The time we were doing a research, you will be surprised to know that approximately 68 million tons of food is wasted every year in India. And if we
Certainly.
calculate, that figures come to 55 kg per person per year.
Yeah.
So that's not a small figure which we can say.
And even I think number wise it's around 92,000 crores of food
Yes.
wasted
Yes.
per annum.
And I don't want to quote the figures due to several reasons. They are figures very in a large number that people are dying in country due to hunger. So that figures was basically a fuel to our thought process to do something with a noble cause. So then we make up a mission of hunger-free Bharat, Bhuk Mukt Bharat, and this RCL is dedicated to basically hunger-free Bharat.
But this is like very interesting to me, and either this can be true या फिर मैं अपने से सोच रहा हूँ कि when you see cricket, right, या media overall, the first thing a person would get in mind is कि let us make this profitable or let us try to get all the media buzz around it कि यार क्या ज़रूरत है, हो जाएगा साइड में कुछ ना कुछ कर लेंगे. But how come when you thought कि RCL करेंगे, straight away the first thought was let's do it for the this particular theme, that is to feed the people in India?
But I tell you, during the COVID, the time we were distributing the food packets, it was almost 10-12,000 people we were serving daily. We were trying to accommodate max we can do. I went across personally to the areas like Jama Masjid, Nizamuddin, Sarai Kale Khan, one of the charity mission at Kashmiri Gate. I was shocked to see the small kids who are not having a food from 3-4 days. And I will share one experience. I went to Sarai Kale Khan. I was having about, I think, 4,000, 5,000 packets. We were doing the distribution by a small tempo. People literally came near the tempo and they were literally crying that we does not have a food from last 7 days. Can you provide us a food? And that was shocking. And I asked that already 4,000, 5,000 packets I have distributed. They said that you come inside the colony area and there are near about 10,000, 12,000 people who are just not having a single bite from last 4 days. So that was the thing which make me कि कुछ करना चाहिए इसको लेकर. And by God grace, touch wood, I'm well equipped with all the things. So I thought कि let we do something for the society and nation now.
Certainly. That's what I was even reading, that there are some points, there are some things that I got to know that in India, people also have this habit to create a food surplus. As in there are people, because an Indian mentality is कि खाना हमेशा रहना चाहिए, खाना हमेशा ज़्यादा रहना चाहिए. Even if you talk about like top tier hotels as well, many of them are known to keep good amount of surplus food कि we never run out of foods, right? So that also I think kind of leads to this particular thing that hunger is something that still exists in India.
See, the thing is that I'm into this industry basically. So I know the loopholes also. If I calculate this, not less production is the issue. It's the major issue of a wastage which we are doing, and mainly which comes from the part of weddings, the restaurants, and the caterers. If you go to the weddings, they are making a food in bulk, and if the leftover food, they are just throwing into the dustbins. Nobody take cares that we should distribute to some NGOs, or we should go out and distribute people in the staying in the shelters or something. That's a major issue, and that's the only point we want to now cater, that let all these organizations, restaurants, hotels understand the requirement what we are having today to how to control the food wastage and the surplus food. So we are trying to make that platform that all the peoples on hospitality boards and basically into the restaurants and the catering parts, they come on board with us
For RCL?
for RCL.
Yeah.
If you going through our RCL, we're having a good missionary chefs and the master chefs who have come on board with us. And there is a, you must be knowing NGO Sakshay Patra and Robin Hood Army. They are also on board with us. So jointly we are trying to make that awareness among the public to how to control the food wastage and basically surplus food also.
Certainly. And I think one more thing that I have for you personally, because you are someone that who has been in the hotel business, you have such a pretty cafe right here next to the Constitution Club of India, right?
It's one of the happening cafe,
One of the
cafe in
happening
the central
cafes.
Delhi now.
But like, I'll come to the question later on. What was the reason behind this cafe?
See, the almost 4-5 years, this is a good banyan tree over there.
Yeah.
And grass does not grow at that level. So this area is surrounded by government offices. So during the lunch time, people are fond of coming and sitting and spending over time over here.
Yeah.
So the secretary of Constitution Club, Mr. Rajiv Pratap, is the basically mentor for me also, and the man behind developing this club as this stage. He said me one day, Arvind, that we should have a cafe. He gave me a rough sketch and said, you plan out. So according to his vision, we tried best and we'd make this open cafe. Now it's one of the happening place, I would say, in central Delhi.
It is, certainly
You have to keep waiting for a chair basically for 10 minutes, I hope so.
And it's open till 5 a.m.
It's open till 5 a.m.
That's a huge thing.
In case you are going through Connaught Place and you are not getting anything, you can enjoy the biryani at cafe with a cold coffee and a hot coffee both.
Both biryanis, chicken and mutton biryanis?
Yes, both biryanis are there.
Amazing.
And shortly we are going to add the menu also.
Certainly. And actually I was going to ask you about you being in the hotel business and running so many things. What I have personally felt about hotel business is that unfortunately you cannot avoid this whole idea कि आप food waste नहीं करोगे. Because practically speaking, you have to keep food also. And then you also see कि food waste हो रहा है. So there is no grayscale here. When you as a hotelier see this problem, how do you see it?
See, I prefer that now we have to change our mindset to put basically food into the cold rooms and the storage. We should try to basically distribute the food at a good time, the time it can be used by the needy peoples. And I would also say that people now should not distribute food during their anniversaries, birthday parties. That trend should come now. There are million of people who are sitting having a night without a food. That concept should be changed now. I was discussing with one of my chefs that why should we do a thing that instead of putting your food into a dustbin, if you are having a leftover rice, try to make it a fried rice next day. And if you are having a chapatis, you can make a good rolls from them.
Yeah.
So that's the concept, and I am speaking to other renowned chefs also, that they should come with a new recipe, that the food is also not destroyed and wasted, and they are throwing into a dustbin. Let's come up with a good recipe that everybody can use of. So that's a motive. I think I will be getting a success in this.
Yeah. Do you think cloud kitchens, because there are so many things happening around online, cloud kitchen is something that has picked up? So obviously this hotel staff is there, but there is actually no direct supervision, I'd say. that there is a customer intervening or any sort of things like that happening, right? So when it comes to cloud kitchen or majorly it picking up, you cannot basically monitor कि ये खाने का जैसे these are like very innovative ideas to make rolls out of it, to make fried rice out of it. How come in the modern day scenario when it comes to things like this can still happen?
See, cloud kitchen is increasing now day by day, if you see.
Yeah.
And people are, if you go to any good society, I found there are 2-3 cloud kitchen which are developed in the society itself. So that concept has to be made more clearly and innovative ideas to be come across. So I think that would take a time to spread awareness also on that wastage food.
Could you elaborate on that for me?
I'm planning to make a basically what you can say that board of chefs which can overlook such cloud kitchens, develop special cloud kitchens which can make a food from basically the food which are left over with the restaurants. We are planning to get a collection of foods from all the restaurants, make a separate cloud kitchens, and from there we develop a proper food for the needy people, and then we spread out.
Got it. And even one more thing, you were even though saying that according to you production is not the problem, but then the supply chain might be the problem, right? Because in India we have to understand that, like, let's say we are sitting in a city like Delhi or Bombay, so we have the resources, things are reaching out to us. But let's say the India which is still developing, which is the rural India, right? So their supply chain can be said, one of the things I was reading some stats, it was saying that around 40% of the food gets wasted because it never reaches on time. And it, unfortunately, the food is then no longer edible, right? So when you see this whole scenario of supply chain in India, what's your perspective on that?
See, you must, like I said earlier, there are many NGOs, mainly like Akshay Patra and Robin Hood, which we are having a large number of volunteers. And same process I am doing. We started a missed call number 8377992992 to join the Hunger Free Bharat mission. And the day I launched the number, it was 2nd of Jan. And till today, we are having a missed calls of roughly 34,000 people across India. So that type of volunteers which we are looking for, which will help us in distribution of food, collection of food and distribution of food basically. In the small cities, गांव में, उन शहरों में जहाँ basically कोई नहीं कर पा रहा है. So I'm getting that data entire made. I'm getting missed calls regularly, daily 200, 300 missed calls. Still I'm getting off. So I hope so that I'll get a good numbers of volunteers who will be helping me to do this all collections of food from their particular areas and distribution to the needy people. So that would take a time, but I'm confident something would happen.
And do you think privatization can also help in here? As in, we can cut this out if you want, that brands like Zomato or Blinkit or Instamart or Swiggy, Zomato's Hyperpure is there, which basically directly supplies to the farmers. Brands like that are going to help speed up
Many
this
brands
process?
are coming up, like
Certainly.
Zomato, Swiggy, both are doing something for feeding India, and other brands they are doing also. So they can be helpful for us. They are, I think, bulk of NGOs which you are working across. There are about 10-12 NGOs which are already signed with us on their board with the RCL. So that would take a little bit time, but hope so within a span of 3-4 months we'll be ready with the entire structure across all over India.
Yeah. And one more thing regarding food surplus, like recently it happened in December 2024, the rice stocks of India were around 44.1 million tons and the ideal is 7.1 million tons, so much of surplus. So government lifted the ban over export and so that people can export it out. But eventually when you see India, a country like India especially, you were mentioning that people were literally crying when they saw food. Don't you think food like that which is in surplus should be utilized in sources like these?
Bhai, the thing is that it's the same thing I told earlier, that production is not an issue in the country. The proper usage and distribution is the issue. And that somebody has to take care of it. Nobody is taking an initiative how to move ahead with that surplus food. If we calculate the milk also, there is a large quantity of milk which is spoiled every year, and that can feed to thousands of people. So some policy formula has to be developed at a national level which look after these issues.
And how can that happen? Being a person who has seen government, observed government, do you have any things there?
See, I would say if I see across the globe, there are many laws. There's a law in, I think, France, that the basically supermarkets, they have to distribute the food before the expiry dates. In South Korea, there is a law that where you are paying a charges according to the weight of the waste food. So something like that, I think. I was few months back listening to the Man Ki Baat of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. In that also he raised the issue of food wastage. So if some law can be made of such kind, that will, I think so, that will impact everyone. And in Europe there is a app called Too Good To Go, which is basically a food app in where the restaurants can put their meals and the persons can take on a discount prices. इंडिया में ऐसी ऐप्स हैं, बट मतलब बहुत कम लोगों को ऐप्स के बारे में पता है. सो मेरा एक अगला इनिशिएटिव जल्दी मार्च में ये भी होगा कि मैं एक ऐप ऐसी लॉन्च करूं जो दिल्ली के रेस्टोरेंट्स को रात के 8 बजे 9 बजे के बाद यू कैन पुट योर मील्स ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर ऐप with the best discounted price. Anybody want to purchase, they can purchase.
The leftover meals.
Leftover. Not basically leftover, basically the surplus food which they are having in the night.
Got it.
So I'm planning to do that app. I'm working on it. I hope so after the completion of RCL, I will be able to launch that.
That's really very nice. That's very amazing.
And there's already apps working. There are, I think, 4 or 5 good apps which are already existing in India, but people are not aware about them.
Because I think one more reason could be that India is more about the consumerist mentality. Ki if Zomato or Swiggy is there, I want to like go there. I want to buy those execute restaurants, those cuisines. No one thinks in that direction.
अगर आप RCL के charity matches देखोगे, so I'm having about 30-40 social media influencers जिनके मिलियंस में फॉलोअर्स हैं. दे आर प्लेइंग माई फर्स्ट 2 मैचेस, चैरिटी मैचेस ऑन 17th of Feb. So I'm trying to spread the awareness of all these things through them, basically on social media and all the platforms. And I'm having a good chefs also who are coming to play. And on 17th we will be having 2 charity matches. Would be basically social media influencers also and the chefs also. So they are going to, basically the motive is to spread awareness on food wastage and surplus food. And on that matches also we are announcing on every 10 runs 200 meals to needy people.
Needy people, and how is that going to work?
See, if you calculate, Astha Gill is coming as a appearance guest for our RCL inaugural. So 50,000 meals have been announced by her for the needy people. And 10 runs 200 meals for the charity matches which we are going to play on the 1st 17th day. 18 to 22nd would be our league matches. So on every 10 runs 100 meals. So I'm calculating if total meals I'll be scoring according to the score, it would be near about 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs. So 24th of Feb, after the completion of RCL, we are going to distribute that. Whatever the figures come, we are going to distribute that food packets to the needy people across the Delhi as of now. In coming course of time, we will be spreading to the other states also.
That's really, really nice. Many kudos to that, sir. And how do you see...
And I tell you, social media influencers have joined me
I have seen
without any questions, if and buts from me. And as of now also, my team is getting regular request कि हमें खिला लो. But I'm not having a time period to accommodate them. So I have said sorry to them. But in the next league, definitely I'll be taking more of them.
Yeah. But overall, when it comes to this whole idea of hunger-free India, which, I think by 2030, we aim to, or 2070?
Yes.
2030, right?
2030.
2030, there is an idea to achieve that goal.
Yes.
how do you see that post this? Like, this is something, this is a huge event happening, dignitaries from entertainment, from politics coming there. But then, post that, I think that is the reality check. Like, how do you see the ripple effect of this? कि बाद में जब ये event हो जाएगा, still the idea of feeding is going to be feeded in people's head कि फिर लोग इसको खुद ब खुद कर रहे हैं.
कोशिश मेरी यही है कि आरसीएल के ख़त्म होने के बाद ये चीज़ ख़त्म ना हो जाए. सो मेरा कुछ ना कुछ इवेंट्स कह लीजिए या ऐसे कॉन्फ्रेंसेस या ऐसे कैंप्स कंटिन्यू रहेंगे जिससे वो एक अवेयरनेस लोगों में आए कि खाना कैसे बचाना है और कैसे बांटना है. बेसिकली मैं छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. अभी थोड़े दिन पहले मलवा गया हुआ था टू मीट वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड. मैं उनकी सोसाइटी से बाहर निकला, देयर वाज अ स्मॉल बॉक्स लाइक अ पोस्ट बॉक्स और उसमें लिखा हुआ था एक रोटी इसमें डालिए. सो आई आस्क्ड माय फ्रेंड, मैंने कहा व्हाट इज़ दिस. कहता है ये हमने ना एक फूड बैंक बना रखा है सोसाइटी ने, एंड आफ्टरनून एवरी मेंबर ऑफ अ बेसिकली रेसिडेंट ऑफ अ सोसाइटी पुट्स अ रोटी इन दैट पोस्ट बॉक्स, and in the evening by 4:30 a volunteer is there earmarked who take all the rotis from there and give to the goshalas. So we have to basically, my idea is that every school, every institution should teach the students also about the food portion. आप स्कूल्स में जाओगे, बच्चों के कैंटीन में भर लेते हैं, चाउमीन है, नूडल्स है, उनको आइडिया नहीं है कि मुझे कितना लेना है, कितना खाना है.
कॉलेज में भी
सो दैट्स अ मोटिव कि वो आप एक बेसिक स्कूल लेवल से अगर वो पोर्शन ऑफ फूड समझाना शुरू करेंगे ना, वो बहुत फ़र्क पड़ेगा. और उसी की कोशिश है टाइंग अप विथ, एज आई टोल्ड यू, कि NGOs, शेफ्स, रेस्टोरेंट्स, सबको एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाने की कोशिश है कि हाँ सब लोग एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर हैं. लेट वी मूव हेड इन दिस. 2030 तक टारगेट है कि कुछ ना कुछ हम अच्छा अचीव कर लें. एंड दिस इज़ नॉट अ प्रोसेस कि वन टाइम हो गया और ख़त्म हो गया. This would be the ongoing process which we are trying.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it's the ripple effect post that. Because if so many influencers and people like Astha Gill and even so many politicians coming in, कुछ ना कुछ इफेक्ट तो उसका रहेगा ही लोगों पे.
और वो कंटिन्यू रखना पड़ेगा. सबसे बड़ी बात वो है. मतलब आरसीएल हुआ, क्रिकेट हुआ, फन हुआ, ख़त्म हो गया, उससे वो चीज़ रुक गई तो मज़ा ही नहीं आएगा. और वही कोशिश है. तो उसमें ऐड ऑन कुछ ना कुछ करने की कोशिश रहेगी. एंड आई होप दैट पीपल आर कमिंग विद अस ऑन बोर्ड विल डेफिनेटली बी हेल्पफुल टू अस.
And how people can come eventually now, though it won't be possible, right, in this upcoming season, has starting from 17th. People cannot come in right now.
No, not as for a playing basically. Everyone is welcome to enjoy the match. Entry is totally free. We are not keeping any charges. But we want a support of maximum people to come and enjoy the game. That's more important for us also, so that we can spread more awareness to that particular ground where thousands of people are sitting together.
Certainly, and my best wishes, even in fact the whole team's best wishes
No,
to
thank
you,
you
sir.
so much to you for sparing time and coming for such a noble cause. That's more important for
It
me.
certainly is a pleasure, sir. I hope I was able to do justice to the conversation.
Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you, brother. Thank you.